What's up, guys? Today I'll be doing the parts of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I'm only doing the anime parts because I've not read the manga. I'm basing this just on how much I like them, nothing more, nothing less. I mean, there are things that form to why I like it and whatnot. Hold on, let me just move this. Yeah, much better. I'm changing this to Dio. Dio is God in Italian. For those who did not know, you're welcome. Okay, starting this off strong. Boom. Part 2, Phantom Blood, definitely the best. Well, it is the best, in my opinion, obviously, but barely better than two of the other ones, which you'll see later, I mean. Part 2 has the most badass character, which would definitely be Joseph Joestar. I don't know what other way to describe him as besides that. Like, if there was a definition of manliness in the dictionary, he should be there, if anyone. Part 2 makes you feel so many more emotions than the rest of them, in my opinion. Especially with like the death of Caesar and freaking like the anger towards the villains as well. There on all three of them, I honestly forget one of them, but Wamu, best villain in my opinion in every single part, hands down. I like he's a villain. It's a tragic one. You don't want to hate him, but he's still a villain. He's still a bad guy. He's still the one trying to kill off the good person, aka Joseph. Also, the memes from it that you see from it as well is really great. And we go part 4, definitely the worst part. That's all I gotta say. The character, like, and at the end, it's not so bad, but at the beginning and like towards the middle where you start hitting a lot of fillers, it just sucks in my opinion. I mean, I just watched it because I didn't want to skip over any parts. I was thinking about just skipping it and going to part 5, since everyone had been talking about part 5 and how good it is. Not really talking about how good part 4 is. I mean, they make Jotaro so much more weaker in this than in part 3. I mean, obviously that's going to happen, but the fact that he was lost to that rat bastard stand is ridiculous. That he needed to rely on Josuke to freaking take care of that thing is stupid. The other ones I can understand, like that water bastard, whatever. It worked well that for Josuke to beat him, and for Jotaro not really to help, but it's just ridiculous. And then, yeah, don't really care about the characters that much in part 4. Rohan's pretty cool, as well as, hold on, yeah, Kochi, or however you pronounce, yeah, it's Kochi. He is a great character. I enjoy his character quite a bit. Him and Rohan, in my opinion, are the best. Even though I do like the hand, the guy who owns the hand, I guess, whose stand that is. He's a great character, as well as the memes you see for it. Fantastic. But Josuke himself, I could not really care about at all. I think it's just they just make his character don't touch my hair. I think it's stupid. Yeah, I have no reason to care about what happens to freaking Josuke. Not that I really care about. I mean, they don't give you really reasons for Kochi or Rohan, but they're just way cooler characters in my opinion. So I just want to root for them more than freaking Josuke. Also, Kochi's stand is very cool in my opinion.
Okay, master. Let's kill the whole beach.
But that's not the point. Going on to part 5, A tier. Obviously, there's no on anyone's list. It really shouldn't be below A. It's fantastic. The characters are really good. Like the variety of stands is also really cool in this, and how he overcomes and beats them also is like big brain plays all over, which is great. Like takes me back to part 3, part 4. I mean, I don't think there was any really. There was some, but I don't know. I think part 5, the character is just every single character I liked in part 5, unlike part 4. They just hit everything off the back on part 5, as well as the music. I mean, you gotta love the torture dance or whatever that was called. Phantom Blood, Part C. I mean, it'd be either C or B. I can't. Maybe B. It's the thing that started it all. I mean, you really shouldn't be able to put this low either. I like it a lot because it's what started it all, and it started it so well. Speedwagon, the Speedwagon that started it all, the thing that started all the supernatural abilities off as well. The first time you get to see Dio, I mean, people probably people obviously usually at least like Part 3 better and Dio in that, but I mean, like I said, this is where it started. The fights are also really cool. The characters are good as well. I mean, I think all of them are just decent, to be honest. I don't think there's a lot of them like, yeah, besides like Speedwagon, I mean, but yeah, it's not like as good and bad ones. It's just all of them are pretty good. Unlike Part 4, where it's just like a lot of them are bad and some are good. Or, well, I guess the best example would be Part 3, where, no, Part 3 not stands. Characters, all of them are good, to be honest. Especially the villains that lead up to Dio. The Darbies, those are I freaking love of the Darby characters. Fantastic.
Go ahead, Mr. Juster.
I don't know how you couldn't like them. That part was so good. Part 3 would be above, or at least at this. Maybe I should put it up there, but I don't know. At Part 2, but because there's so much filler in the middle, especially with like Death 13 and that stuff as well as that one Sun stand, and I don't know what's happening with there, to be honest. But yeah, there's a lot more filler in Part 3 than Part 2, at least as I recall. I mean, Jotaro also really cool character, as well as the rest of them. Kakyoin, freaking Polar and F, all of them are such really good characters. But in my opinion, Part 2 makes you feel more diverse of feelings than Part 3. Like with Part 2, I was a lot sadder when freaking Caesar died versus then Part 3 when Kakyoin died. It's not because, Caesar was a better character than Kakyoin. I think it was just because they just did a better job with his death and the sadness of it, and everyone throws Kakyoin actually under the bus, man. They would have probably all lost if it wasn't for Kakyoin, thinking back on it, but that's not the point. That's not any of the points of this. Yeah. This is my tier. This is where I rank all of them. I guess there's a little variety between them. I could put Part 1 lower, or I could put Part 3 higher. I would be fine if I did this for all of them, to be honest. Well, not all of them. Not for these two, but I'd be fine if I put those two up there. Both of those are so good. It's marginally better in my opinion, just because if we're ranking it as a whole of all of the episodes rather than just the good parts. If it was just the good parts or whatever, then I would put this up there for sure, 100%. This part 5 is just a straight all goodness throughout all of it. This one it goes up and down, but of the ups and downs are still above both of these. Part 2, all of it's just phenomenal, especially it's like boom, and then at the end, it's like, as you would expect, that like the final, I guess, would be the best part. They did so good with like the villains and as well as the main character as well. It just so good in Part 2. Yeah, that's it. I'm sure you guys will let me know if you have different opinions, and I'm guessing you will. I mean, it's just my opinion. If you want to like it, like it. If you want to dislike it, dislike it. If you want to subscribe, do it. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought down in the comments, even if it is all just a bunch of negative things. Tell me if you agree. There'll be a lot less people telling me if they agree. Thanks for watching, and if you want to go do this yourself, I'll put the link in the description. So adios.